Hello, here I am on Tuesday. It's 5 o'clock. You know what that means. It's time to go live. We are episode 30. 30. Like, it is just crazy. 30 weeks of amazing guests, 30 weeks of fantastic live conversations with industry leaders, influential people, and 30 weeks of lockdown. So there you go. But tonight, as of 11:59, Melbourne, we're free. So thank goodness. Anyway, okay, so tonight or today, very excited to be introducing a really nice guy to start with, and also a managing director of one of the most high-end appliance companies in the world. So Andrew Mumford, who's the MD of Sub-Zero and Wolf Appliances, is going to give us a little tour through his Melbourne showroom, which has been recently renovated, and explain to us about his products and how they are the leaders in the market for innovation and style and obviously function. Where is he? Come on in. Oh, well, there you are.
Good afternoon.
Hi.
How are you?
How are you?
I'm well. Yourself?
Good. I'm really good. Thank you. Thanks for throwing on a suit jacket and shirt, and you've probably got shorts on under there, but jumping into the showroom to do our live conversation tonight.
Board shorts underneath.
Yeah, perfect.
I didn't actually be in the showroom. I've just come in where, for those of you who haven't been to the showroom, we're right in the middle of the central business district in Bank Place. And there's a little hype happening in the city tonight. Everyone's getting ready for hopefully some opening tomorrow of some retail stores. So,
well, there you go. You could stick around to 11:59 and hit the clubs, because apparently everything's open tonight, and I was invited to go into the city to a bar at 11:59 tonight, but I've got early meetings tomorrow. But you're there. You should just hang out. And
we're actually, it's exciting because we are preparing we'll be open tomorrow by appointment. So,
wow.
So many 12 weeks, I think it is. Our magnificent showroom manager, Catherine, will be ready to open the doors again.
Back to normal. All right. Well, I'm just going to say cheers and thank you. You are my live guest number 30. So thanks, Andrew, for taking time to head into the city, open up the showroom and sit there and chat to us. Everyone's excited to have a look at your product, hear all about the brands, and, you know, why they are such a market, why you are such a market leader with your innovation in just the lush. Are you having a little sip?
Excellent. Actually, I have a glass.
Oh, there you go. Have something. Cheers. Okay, so let's start with, where do you want to start? Do you want to start with you and how long you've been involved with the company, or should we start and you want to tell the history of Sub-Zero and how that has, like, that started 75 years ago, how that all began? Take it away.
Yeah, I don't suppose we don't have a long, and you could talk about these brands for hours. So I think what's exciting for us as a company, we've been in Australia with Sub-Zero for 11 years. And it took a while to build the business. As you know, sometimes it can take some time. But in the last 4.5 years, we've actually become company owned. So we're the first international subsidiary for Sub-Zero and Wolf in the world. So we are factory owned, which benefits to our customers, whether it be specifiers, end users. We carry a lot of stock in Australia. So we have ample amounts of stock. We have the most aggressive pricing that we could possibly have for a luxury brand anywhere in the world. So it's really exciting. And that coincided 4.5 years ago with us opening this 450 square metre showroom here in the middle of the central business district. And I don't think you've been yet, have you, Serena?
No, I haven't. I have clients that have ordered from you and they have come in and I have not, but I will definitely be making my way in there. We've been in a lockdown, you know. I couldn't get past my 5 kilometre radius.
Love
to come in.
Having this beautiful showroom, and I'm obviously biased, but we've got 400 plus square metres, and we've pretty much got everything on display. But it's not just a specification place that you could bring clients or end users, or we have functions, but we also, it's an interactive space. So people can experience the product, especially demystify what can happen with cooking, because we've got oven, we've got very advanced products that it's all for the domestic home, but we make sure that people get the most out of them when they use them. So it's a magnificent space, the showroom.
I think that's really important where you just hit on that fact that it's an interactive showroom, and I think that's key because it is such an unknown. You know, people are wanting to see the product, use it, feel it, you know, see how easy it is for them to accommodate it in their own cooking styles. So if someone's buying a product from you, do they come in and do a cooking class with you? Do you have someone kind of run through the product with them step by step so they know what they're doing?
Yeah, it's many layers to it. So we have people who can come in and have really just a specifications session. Right. We also pre-purchase demonstrations. They're complimentary, and we have some clients that might come in 3 or 4 times. Then we do post-purchase. Once the customers, as you know, renovations can take 1-2 years. By the time they've actually selected their appliance to the time they're cooking their first meal, it might be 12 months.
Yeah, that's true.
We find that customers love coming in for a post-purchase experience, and again, they can come in as many times as they want to really be comfortable. And then from there, it just snowballs. People might ring up and just ask, you know, certain recipes and things like that. What the showroom also allows is it's a very passive environment. So it means customer can come in with Sub-Zero. They're iconic in terms of the design with the stainless steel and the louvered grill and the whole thing. We actually sell more fridges that are concealed behind cabinetry or integrated. So what we do in our showroom is we've got around 30 fridges with customised cabinetry on the front, but not just normal. We've got some that are 30 mil thick, so it shows you a really deep handleless fridge, which other brands can't do. So there's a lot of variations. Our toe kit can be as low as 50 mil, for instance. That's all ventilation. We show ones at 150. So again, depends on the design. So for instance, with you, the design you're doing, we hopefully will inspire you, or you can come in and have a look what's actually possible with our products.
Okay, so that's a good point. And obviously, like, you're speaking technical terms, and I'll just break it down for people who are watching. So when Andrew said that there was a 30 mil door thickness, most of the integrated doors are usually about a 16 mil fillet or a 16 mil panel, which is what cabinet makers would generally put and attach to the door. So yours are super thick. So you're saying that you can recess and channel in a handle because you've got the thickness of that substrate, let's just say. So it's very smooth.
Well, this is a short session, but the quality of our hinges are unique to us. They're designed, manufactured by us, which allows you to put on the front of the fridge a very heavy panel. We've had, but what, as you can imagine, Serena, having a 30 mil thick panel means if you're having it handleless, the finger pull is far more user friendly.
Yeah, right. So that it's not just continuing to go. I love that. I didn't actually realise that your door thick, you know, your panels were that thick. So there you go. You just made it up?
Yeah, just made it up.
I like it. Stick with it. Well, from tomorrow, I think you better tell them to start doing the thick doors, because I'm going to order one. Come and bite you. So just to sort of, I guess we'll kind of go back, but obviously 75 years. I love the story. How do you say his name? Is it Westy Backy? Like, who's...
Backy, that's it.
Westy Backy, who is a creator. So in 1930, when I was doing my research, he was experimenting with refrigeration because his son was a diabetic and he needed to store his insulin for his son. So in 1943, he actually then came up with the first refrigerator, because the first one he made with coils or something, but the first like upright refrigerator. So it progressed, I guess, from back then when the refrigerator box was small and everything was, you know, bought daily, I guess, so we didn't have that space. He did the first freestanding refrigerator back in 1943.
That's exactly right. He perfected, he's a self-taught engineer, and basically that was his motivation for creating an environment of a stable temperature to support his son's insulin.
So amazing.
Background to it, but the first 2 years of what he was manufacturing was large-scale freezers, which were birds I were buying. Bird's Eye.
Right, right.
1945 incorporated the company Sub-Zero. So we're celebrating right now 75 years of manufacturing luxury.
Amazing. That's amazing. It's amazing.
We've never built anything other than luxury domestic refrigeration.
Right.
Refrigeration. Some of the key points of what sets Sub-Zero apart today, such as dual refrigeration, which I won't bore you too much with that, but and the integration of refrigeration. We were doing that back in the 90s, when it was almost a luxury to have a fridge.
Well, exactly. And when you actually go back into the research, I mean, the iconic design, they were one of the first companies to actually do the integrated fridge, which means that they were kind of taking this classic, like American, let's open this all out and kind of make it look a bit fancy, but we'll conceal all of our appliances and keep it seamless. So much so that, as I said in the promo on the post today, Frank Lloyd Wright actually commissioned custom fridges for some of his projects, like such a visionary. So therefore, you know, when you're having an architect of that caliber start to introduce your appliances into his home, I mean, you're at that level straight away, aren't you? Like, you're setting a precedence for quality and style.
Exactly right, and he's spot on. We came Frank Lloyd Wright, and our manufacturing plant back then, and still is today, on the same site, which is about a 2-hour drive north of Chicago.
Wow.
So our company worked very closely with Frank Lloyd Wright for a number of decades.
Yeah.
And we were, every year, unfortunately not this year, but every year, I'd like to take over some key specifiers, architects and so forth to Chicago and to our factory. Yes, exactly. Well, put your hand up, Serena. But we've had some
all right. Let's end the live now. I'm just going to shoot through some emails, let you know what my dates are that are available.
But we're so close to architecture and design, and you go through things like the Roby House in Chicago, and you see how Frank Lloyd Wright,
wow,
the way he integrated all the heating, for instance. So it was just a progression. So we're still a family-owned business. The grandson of the founder owns it today, and the beauty of being privately owned is that our passion and our focus is on still being a specialist manufacturer of refrigeration, and then you've got Wolf the cooking. So,
which we'll go into. So, I mean, let's be honest. You're expensive.
Yep.
Right. I mean, but it's like saying, you know, I guess I'm going to go and buy a Porsche versus a Hyundai or whatever. Like, you know that the budget is high. You know that you're getting high performance. You know, so it is for the passionate cook or the home chef, let's say, your refrigeration and the Wolf appliances, because are you like, would you be the most expensive? Can I ask that? Is that bad?
Yeah, we don't mind any. We are expensive. We make no bones. We manufacture at capacity about 150 fridges a day. To put that in context, a mass-produced integrated refrigerator in the market, which is not cheap, might be about half our price. They make around 5,000 a day. When we do our stainless steel, it is literally hand welded, hand polished. There are no exposed. Blah, blah, blah. So we have fridges now. We've been lucky with Sub-Zero. As I said, it's been 11 years, and I make no mistake. You know, I'm not shy about it. But we're becoming very successful in the marketplace because the product, I like to call it affordable luxury. We have 4 competitors now with product that they've copied us.
Right.
They've built it in inches. They've copied us, and they're around the same price or within 10%.
Yeah. Okay. So and I guess, I mean, that's flattering, isn't it? You're always going to get imitators. You're always going to get somebody who is, you know, wanting to kind of copy the brand and try to achieve that as well. So I guess that's flattery, but you guys are obviously market leaders and stand.
I did a kitchen about 5 years ago, and my budget allowed for me to not put in a natural stone, but I wanted to. I wanted to put in a marble, but the budget for me at that time didn't allow for it. So I think it's also what people are doing and what they see value in. And what we're finding is that we're getting more and more people buying our product because they see the quality. We're finding, and we also, having 48 models in our range. Now, our direct competitors have around 4.
Yeah,
so
it's huge.
opportunity. So we have a fridge that's only 1 metre wide and 2 metres tall. So if you're an entertainer or you're building your dream kitchen and you want to entertain, have the family around, there's no other product that can provide those sort of solutions.
Right.
Also,
so I guess I think what's happening, and we sort of touched on this morning, like how has the interior design changed? How has the landscape changed over the last 10 years in interiors? And, you know, we talked about this today, and it was like, well, people, I guess, are becoming more discerning with what they're wanting to put into their homes. I guess even more so after we've been through this COVID experience. The home is so important, and it's important that it functions well and that it looks seamless. And, you know, I think even moving forward, people are going to be much more aware of quality products and not just kind of going out and just spending money for the sake of it, but really investing in key pieces like you're saying. So, you know, realistically, you're probably just going to get better and better and better. And I guess with you at the helm, you know, it's probably a no-brainer. So you're just going to keep heading up.
We're becoming also, if it fits within your budget, you're doing a nice renovation or a new build, people do want to see longevity. We're not a throwaway product. We can still see fridges that have been in our market for 30 plus years, because what we found when we started the business, people had actually imported these themselves because they realised they're the best in the world. So it's a service product. You should never really have to throw it away.
Right.
And that's a great thing too.
Well, we'll jump over to Wolf in a sec, but I just want to say the very first time that I saw a Sub-Zero fridge, I was watching The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and Yolanda Hadid, who is supermodel Bella and Gigi Hadid's mother, and you know where I'm going with this, she has this, or had at that time, this amazing property in Malibu overlooking the water, you know, up in the hills, and she had this big glass door, double glass door fridge, fully open. You could see all of her produce in there. It was all laid out. I mean, you could never live like that. There was baskets of apples, baskets of lemons, little bits of little cheese, you know, and I just looked at this fridge and I was like, you know, it was like the dream, you know, hallelujah moment. And that fridge actually ended up getting its own Instagram page because it was just so mind-blowing to most of the world that this luxurious, you know, glass door, open, walk-in fridge, freezer, and it was, you know, one of yours. So I first kind of came to it while I was watching a reality TV show, and I've always wanted one ever since.
It's funny. We've got some products that literally are like a piece of artwork. They're hand built. So that is one of them.
I can imagine. So how did Wolf get involved? So Wolf is obviously your cooking appliances. So that was in 2000. They decided to start manufacturing and just take over the whole world with cooking appliances as well?
The story was that they'd just been doing refrigeration for so long, they realised to grow as a company. The grandson of the founder took over.
Right.
Years in about 1998, and someone new came in. They've got vision as well, and they realised that the market was changing and they needed a cooking brand. And he was really quite brilliant. Instead of trying to build something from scratch, what he actually did is he purchased a commercial cooking company that had been around for about 60 or 70 years.
Right.
He purchased it outright. It was called Wolf Gourmet. And they were known as building amazing quality commercial cooking equipment, and they were also synonymous with their red knobs. So he went over to San Francisco, purchased the company. Wolf Gourmet still exists, but it's a completely separate business. He came back to Madison, Wisconsin, where our factory is, built a whole new factory, and 2 years later, using some of the intellectual property, built off the production line his first domestic cooking equipment, which is called Wolf. Wow. So Wolf, what's phenomenal about that brand is that every year since the year 2000 has had 10% growth every year in the US market. It has been more than double-digit growth. It has been an absolute boom. And we find out split between the two, even in Australia, is about 50% Sub-Zero, 50% Wolf. It is a phenomenal.
And there's over 50 products in the range as well. So, I mean, it's not like it's just a small little, here's a couple of ovens and cooktops. It's a pretty big deal.
I can show you around, but we're synonymous with the iconic look. But we have a lot of manufacturers of ovens, for instance, will have one strong design aesthetic. What we have been manufacturing, we've got 4 very distinct designs. So we have a black glass oven that's handleless, very contemporary, flush mounted induction cooktops. So you can have a very sleek, modern, greater design, or you can have that very commercial look, the red knobs. So we give opportunity, depending on the design you were doing, for instance, for home. If you're doing more a Hampton style, we're finding that more stainless steel, large freestanding cooker seems to be more popular. It's a very kitchen, it'll be more black, like that.
Yeah. So what's your style? What's your design aesthetic? Like, what's your favourite style?
To be honest, it fluctuates. I think it depends. But I quite like a modern, clean look, personally. I love that contemporary on the outside and the inside.
Right. And are you an induction cooker or are you a gas top cooker?
Still gas. So
you like gas?
I love gas. So induction's phenomenal. The technology, I know it's been talked about before. What's different with our gas cooktop is it's the only gas cooktop in the market that gives you the same control as induction. So
okay.
I always talk about woofers for the home chef. So we have a gas, a little bit boring, Serena, but we basically have a gas burner that you can leave a pot on there for 8 hours. It'll never burn to the base. We have the lowest heat output of a gas burner on the Australian market.
Wow, okay. Sounds like my kind of cooking, because I could leave it on the gas burner for 8 hours because I forgot.
Yeah, just forget.
And I've left the house and I've jumped on a plane and gone somewhere. So as long as it's just simmering when I get back.
Tastes very
yeah, fantastic. Okay, so let's go for a bit of a look. I want to see, because obviously you recently renovated and you've just opened your showroom in Sydney. Have you just opened it?
4 weeks ago, we opened our showroom.
Right.
Bow Street, Surrey Hills. That's an amazing space. So we've had fantastic reactions. So now we've got a Melbourne showroom, a Sydney showroom. So yeah, it's very exciting.
So have you seen the Sydney show? Well, obviously you haven't seen the Sydney showroom completed. When was the last time you? Well, that is a dumb question because you haven't been anywhere for 8 months. But
unfortunately, my team with Francis and James and everyone's worked really hard on that project. So we worked hard, but physically we haven't been able to see it come to fruition. So hopefully we'll be up there in a month or 2.
Yeah, wow. Well, if they open the borders in a couple of weeks, you could be straight up there.
Hope so.
Yeah, nice. All right, well, let's see your baby. Let's see the Melbourne showroom.
All right, come with me. So it's very hard.
So pretend I'm just a customer. I've stepped in. I'm ready to purchase.
We have a sanitising station, of course, because of COVID.
Oh,
so
yeah, well, we've got to be COVID safe. I know.
The showroom is split into 3 areas. So 3. When you first walk in, besides reception, this is our bar area. So throughout the whole space, this is our fun part, but littered through the space is product. So things like we've created here a very contemporary wall of appliances, handleless oven, such as this. Yeah. And again, a huge capacity oven. We don't build basically small capacity ovens. That's 144 litres.
Wow. How wide is that oven?
760. So it's 760 mil. Okay. That's the width that we specialise in.
Right. Because most ovens, and especially wall ovens, especially on the general Australian market, are a 60 centimetre oven. And obviously, once again, drawing on that American sort of thing where bigger is better, you're at the 760, which is a really nice size because the 600s are tiny, I think. A 900 has basically the same capacity as a 600, and your 760 is the perfect size.
So we've really created this size, and people who are buying that premium to luxury end, they're entertainers. They're going to have 10, 12 people for dinner. What's unique about us is, and I won't, again, technically, 760 wide, it's a very tall oven, 6 shelf heights, but we use 2 fans. So we heat evenly throughout that space. So when customers buy this, they know they can do bulk cooking. So this is a very contemporary design, a flush induction cooktop, integrated refrigerator here.
Nice.
Every fridge that we sell can lock at 90 degrees. So if you want to put our fridges into a wall return, you can basically do that, and you can still access the whole product and pull everything out of the fridge.
Good.
So it's one of our key designs. this is one of my favourite products. So we have a wine unit that'll hold around 78 bottles with 2 temperature zones. But we also have 2 refrigerator drawers that have their own compressor, so we can have our beer or champagne depth stored at like 1 or 2 degrees.
Wow.
So that's drawer,
perfect.
everything we build is over-engineered. So everything we build is full extension. So this will hold around 54 bottles of beer and no wobble, and that'll be a soft closed drawer as well.
Wow.
As high-end cabinetry would be.
And I love the fact that you can have the obviously humidified, temperature controlled wines on the top racks, visible, looking beautiful, and then you've got all your, as you said, your cold bottles chilling at the base there. So it's
a unique, and no one builds anything like that in the market besides us. I love that. Yeah,
because sometimes I feel like a sneaky red, and sometimes I feel like a frosty champagne. So I could just get both.
You have everything. Yeah, it's a mix.
You have it all.
It's a rocket fuel. If we come through the space, and this is our sort of key showroom area. Tell me if I'm moving too quickly, but across there we're just showing the 4 different designs of built-in ovens. So the cabinetry has been designed to show each one separately as a very different design aesthetic.
So where's your start? Like, let's say I am on a budget, but I want to buy your product. I know I'm banging on about the money a bit, but I know I'm asking all the questions that people want to know, even though it's a bit rude. But okay, I don't have heaps, but I want to buy your product. What's my base model? Which one is it? Can you show me that?
Yeah, sure. So our entry-level ovens start at $8,995.
Okay,
so
well, that's
something like this with a large capacity oven. And I should say that everything's made in America. Everything's manufactured there. So our pricing is similar to other brands in the market. I mean, if you look at a brand, some brands that are more of a commodity product have a 90-centimetre oven at $14,000.
Yeah, nice.
Another German brand has product that we're around the same price, if not a slightly cheaper, if you're comparing product for product.
Yeah.
Our induction cooktops are around $5,000.
Yeah. So you're pretty much on par with. You are pretty much on par. I just know that, because it is high end, and I have had clients say to me, "Oh, I'd love it, but I can't afford it." And it's like, well, hang on, let's just have a look at it. Let's just check it first, because I think the elite part of it sometimes makes people go, oh, but then when they actually delve into it and see the products and the prices, it's not as scary.
If you compare, you've got to compare apples with apples. If you're looking at other brands, 60-centimetre oven, and comparing it to our 760, then of course there's a difference. If you're looking at other premium brands or if they're a luxury brand, I think we're the only ones, but if they're 76 centimetre oven, it's around the same price as us. There's no difference.
Right. Yeah.
So perception is a little bit misleading sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I'm really pleased that you've come on tonight, because obviously it's good just to kind of break it down and kind of say, well, you know what, if it's not maybe as unattainable as what someone may think if we actually break it down and have a look at what there is. So I think it's good.
Cooking's around the same price as some other brands. Refrigeration can vary. As I said, we've got some competitors where we're the same price, but we've got a fridge like this classic stainless steel one here.
Yeah,
Again, this is literally a hand-built product. There is nothing else in the market like it, and that is at around $25,000 as you see it.
And how wide is that one? Can you just put your camera just down, just a little? Yeah, that's it. So how tall and how wide is that? Can you open that up for us?
Every single fridge for us is the same height. It's 2134.
Right.
The width of this
so they're high.
They're high. The width of this is 1219 millimeters.
Yeah. Wow. Right.
So
it's good. It's beautiful though. I mean, look at it. It's just beautiful. So, do you just love it? Do you just kind of walk around and just want to touch it all the time? Everything? Do you just kind of, I don't know, want to get in there?
There's nothing like this. This is everything we do. So every clear piece of plastic here is a product called Lexan. In my 11 years, I've never had to replace any clear plastic through to damage. Doesn't absorb odors, doesn't break. If someone did, I'd just send them out a free one.
Yeah, wow.
So the quality is phenomenal. We're energy efficient. Again, everything's full extension.
Yeah.
And soft close.
That's so good.
This ice cream has been in here, and you'll see no ice forms on it.
Yeah.
So we have and that's been in there since May 2017.
Oh,
Thanks, Cameron. Because our
Is the
fridges,
ice cream lid off? Someone's just, oh, Cam, is it one of your mates? Is the ice cream lid off?
but it
Yes,
just
it
shows
is.
you the longevity you get when you put food in our fridge or food in our freezer, because we don't share
Wow.
it between the two compartments. So there's a lot of
Yeah.
science that goes into it. There's, as I said, there's substance to the brand.
Correct. And you
There's
would
a
only
reason.
appreciate it. And I bet it's hard to come back. If you bought one of those for yourself and you know, lost all your money in a divorce, it's going to be hard to come
I
back.
love it when customers come in, and once they start touching and feeling, it's very hard to go back.
I know. I can imagine.
This is a wall of column fridges. They're all separate units. But
Right.
again, this shows you a fridge. This is our most popular, highest selling integrated fridge. It's 2134 high, but it's 914 millimeters wide. It is huge.
That is huge.
And there's nothing, again, so people love that. And they might tailor that and put a skinny wine used that holds 58 bottles.
Right. So really, I guess, you know, almost as a jumping off point, if you're watching this and you're thinking about designing your kitchen and you're wanting to chat with Andrew or either myself about these products, the best thing to do is probably choose your appliances and then almost build and design the kitchen around that, because these are key pieces. So you want to make sure that the space in your kitchen can accommodate it. And obviously you're then designing the rest of the cabinetry around those appliances. That's how we normally do it, so that everything is like a jumping off point. Is that what you find? Most people come in and they're choosing their appliances even before their kitchen's being designed?
Absolutely. As part of their process of selection, they'll basically build the kitchen around these appliances. So
Right.
they'll make this selection pretty early and start the process.
Yeah.
You know, but if they might be going for one of our iconic freestanding
Yes.
stuff,
Let's go to the wolf section. I love the red knobs.
they are so cool. So about 70% of our clients choose red knobs. The beauty is that they actually can come off and you can change the colour. So there's a stainless steel one.
Yeah, right.
So,
I like the red. The red's a bit sassy. It's kind of like,
Yeah.
you know what? It's kind of like just a big oven, and I've got my big red knobs on there. So
it's pretty it's a very iconic sort of look, and people know you've purchased a wolf when they see that.
Oh, here we go. So I've just had a comment from Key Tennis. Is that any one of your clients? Anyway, my mother and father's kitchen has the full Sub-Zero bang.
There you go.
There you go. Perfect. Well, thank you. I'm sure you're loving it. So there you go. They must have everything in there that's from you guys. So how awesome. Thank you.
This space as well. So if clients come in, we've got a dining area. So we can do sit-down dinners for 16 people. And this is our cooking demonstration area. So we have, as I mentioned earlier, pre or post-purchase demonstrations with live product.
So I think I love the fact that you said it was a post-purchase demonstration as well, because I think you're right. If someone orders their product and then they don't move into their house for a year, they're going to completely forget what they've learned. And I think that you're offering it multiple times, because there'd be times when they'd go home and start to cook something and then go, oh, hang on, eek, you know, I better make another appointment to kind of learn how to do it. So I think the customer service that you're obviously offering is key, and that builds up the relationship with your client, which is just ongoing.
Well, that's what the only reason you have a showroom is for your customer base, whether it be pre or post purchase, to make sure they have the correct experience with the brands.
Yeah,
so exactly right. We want people to use the product and enjoy it.
So do you travel around the world? Like, how do you, like, we did mention once a while ago where, you know, you were supposed to go to Milan this year, as was I. Do you go to the trade fairs? Do you go to, you know, which countries are you usually in on a 12-month basis? And are you looking at the market, seeing what the innovation is, seeing how products are changing?
No, look, basically I'm in America once to twice a year, so back at head office at corporate. From an innovation point of view, we as a company, we do go to the Milan Trade Fair every second year, so we missed out this year, unfortunately. And that gives you an insight into design trends and things like that. Otherwise, it's America twice a year, working with head office and working with corporate, because every one of our products comes off the same production line as the US product. So when they actually build an international product, this is all true international product. It's 220 volt, plugged straight in. There's no transformers or anything like that. So it's all Australian approved product. So the factory do put a lot of work in to make this a compliant product for the globe. and we pass. And our fridges are actually more energy efficient than European fridges.
Oh wow! Well, that's
and
good.
it's phenomenal. We recently won a large commercial project for the luxury residential apartments in Sydney for the Crown.
Wow.
Yeah, and a big part of that tender was the efficiency of the product.
Yeah, because you don't really think about that too much, I guess. You kind of get caught up in how it looks, how it works, but obviously if it's costing you another, $1,000 a month just to, cook some pasta, then
it's more relevant really for large scale projects where they've got 80 apartments or 100 apartments.
Right. Yeah, that's a good job. So I've just had a comment from McLaren Developments. So having won last year's competition, that showroom sealed the decision for me. So let's go into that. So you guys do a kitchen design contest, and you do that every year.
Yes.
Is that right? Can you tell me about that? It started 25 years ago, obviously in the States, and then progressed over to here. So can you tell me about that competition, what it entails, who enters it, who wins it, and what happens?
Yeah, so the company's been running for over 25 years, a kitchen design contest. It's always running, if you like. So every second year, they announce the winners from the previous 2 years. So it's always running. So it's every second year. So you can only enter once, but if you might have designed that kitchen 3 years ago, you can enter it into the current competition.
Right.
So give you a snapshot. It's a really important competition that we've really embraced here in Australia as part of corporate. Last year, there was 1,650 entries globally.
Wow.
1,500 plus were in the USA. Australia had the most of any international country with around 100 entries.
Mm-hmm.
Kitchen must have a Sub-Zero and a piece of wolf cooking. It's blind judging, and they had 30 finalists that were flown across to America to a beautiful gala event.
Oh, wow.
And Australia had 7 of the 30 finalists in the blind judging competition. So we had 1/16 of the entries, and we basically had 30% of the finalists.
Amazing.
So it is, and the 2 years before that, it was a similar result. So we flew over people like Mim Fanning from Mim Design and her husband.
Yeah.
She was a global winner, so she won the best contemporary kitchen in the world. And again, it's
Yeah.
blind judging. So
I mean, you know what that says? I mean, congratulations, Mim. You and I both know her. She's an amazing designer and such a great girl. But, I guess what that says is that Australia is cutting edge with our design. Like, how progressive are we with our design? If we're that much of a percentage of the competition plus the winners, like, yay us. Like, that's so good.
3 years ago, I hosted the gala in San Diego, and we took over the finalists for that particular competition. I remember Fergus Scott won the best contemporary kitchen globally. Again, blind judging. Australia kept winning, and they were all laughing, going, "What's in the water in Australia?" And then this last competition with 7 finalists, it was just, and it highlights to me that Australia are absolute world leaders in design, whether it be kitchen, interiors, phenomenal. And what we actually, as I walk across, what our marketing manager, Francis, created was a magazine style approach which shows all of the Australian entries over the last few years. I'll have to give you a copy. That's Mim's winning kitchen. But this has got, that's Rob Mills' kitchen for his own person. So basically this shows around 50 Australian kitchens that entered the KDC.
That's so good. That's amazing.
So this is all the different literature that we create here in Australia.
Wow.
This one shows some of the KDC finalists, but this is just a quick reference guide to all the different models we have in our range.
Amazing. Well, I think that's just so good. And I mean, that's just obviously your products being introduced into such progressive design. As you said, just Australia is leading it, which is just amazing. Yeah. So I think that's so good. So I'm going to have to get some clients over the line with some products. I'm going to enter, and I'm coming to San Diego.
Well, it changes every 2 years, so you never know.
Well, I'll be in San Diego, so let me know if it changes.
Always exotic and luxurious.
I know. I love it. I love it. All right. Well, here we go. Oh, okay. So McLaren Developments, my winning kitchen designed by Mim, of course. Okay. So now it's making sense because I was a bit like, McLaren Developments, they've won. How did they win? So obviously it was Mim. So amazing. Amazing. Looks so good. All right. So if anyone has any more questions, or is there anything that you want to say? Obviously, we've had an amazing tour through the showroom. It's so impressive. And the product is just, I mean, it's beyond. So, you know, you should be really proud of what you're doing. And you're obviously heading it all up. So you're accountable. Actually, I'm going to, like, okay, let's just backtrack just for a second. So during COVID, how have you found, have you guys, I know you haven't been open and I know you've been super busy, but have you found that it's tracked at the same rate, even though no one's leaving their homes? Or have you found that there's been a shift? And how do you see the business moving forward coming out of this?
Look, we've had a good year. We've had a very solid year. We're ahead of last year. Construction doesn't seem to have been affected too much.
Right.
There's not having this space open, but I think there's going to be a strong surge of people coming through very quickly. And I think 2021 for us will be a very strong year. We're just seeing all the architects, interior designers and so forth I speak to are busy. They're very busy, and I just see that, I'm expecting a very strong year.
Yeah, good. Well, that's good.
Sydney's been trading pretty much, Sydney's very strong. So
Sydney's fine, exactly. So do you think, is there anything that you guys are coming out of COVID that you're going to do differently? Like, are you, you know, I mean, obviously we're going to restrict numbers, and I'm not thinking about just right now, but I'm thinking, has anything come, like pivoting is the whole word of the year. Is there anything that in your company you've got to address and kind of go, actually, we've learned this over the last 6 to 8 months, and that's beneficial for our business moving forward, whether it's staff, whether it's the way you set up your appointments. Are there any key differences that you've learned?
I think with this space, it's such a, I just had to move because the cleaners had arrived. It's such a great space for entertaining that we run things like Dine and Design, where we'd have 80 to 100 specifiers through for basically a party every couple of months.
Right. That'll
change. I think those big groups. So what we're now organising is far more personalised, intimate experiences for. We've always done it for end users, but now with architectural and specifiers and developers, when they come in, they'll come in with just their own company. It'll be more of a bespoke experience. It'll be a hands-on experience. So we'll go down the path now of just elevating what people experience in here to an even higher level, as opposed to those big gatherings that we used to do that were fun. But yeah, we'll roll with the changes. So we've already got some great.
Like maybe that's a nicer way to experience, you know, you like keep that high-end luxury level brand with just a small intimate group. And, you know, I think that kind of resonates with, you know, with your company.
Yeah,
anyway. That is a good way.
It'll just be happening more. So we've got nights already planned with different firms where they'll come in and we're going to focus on different skill sets. So we'll focus on seafood and how do you prepare seafood perfectly and how it works in a steam oven, or cooking seafood 4 different ways, whether it be on a barbecue, a steamer, oven, things like that, or on a cooktop.
Perfect.
Yeah, it should be fun.
And I've noted, well, Sub-Zero New Zealand's just joined and they've sent some love hearts. So, hey, New Zealand. And also, obviously, on your Instagram over the last couple of months, you've had the chefs obviously doing the cooking demos, and like that's really exciting as well, just to kind of watch how the products are being used and making all this beautiful food. So
we need to do more of that and create more local content next year with our own in-house chef, and do more of that type of thing as well.
So just one other thing, I was just wondering, next Saturday night I've got like 12 really important clients, and I'm just wondering if they could come in with me and you could bring your chef and we could just try out the ovens. Well, just like a dinner party, as if it was in your own home, but really it's a work thing.
I did offer a fundraising the last couple of years at the local primary school for my son, and it did raise a couple of $1,000s, but it was a lunch that we couldn't get them out until about 8 p.m.
Yeah, so, those school mums.
Trouble.
Big trouble. All right. Well, thank you. I'm going to let you go because I know you made a special trip into the city today, even though, you know, you probably are looking forward to going in tomorrow for real. Today, I know you've been going in every couple of days, so I really appreciate you heading in and, as I said, putting on your suit jacket and saying hi and explaining your products. They're very impressive. Yeah, I mean, they're beyond. They're just so good, and I love them. And thank you. So if anyone else has any other comments or questions, please do so now or forever hold your peace. If not, this Instagram will go to IGTV, so you can watch it later, and obviously message Sub-Zero Australia if you want to get in contact with Andrew and make a time to come into the showroom. Are you there most days?
Well, I've got a beautiful showroom manager, Catherine, and Cameron, our local sales representative here and business manager. Otherwise, me as well. So we've got a brilliant team in here. And you talked before, but I must say, COVID's been tough on so many businesses. I've got staff working from home since March.
Yeah.
But 2 staff in Sydney that have opened a showroom on their own. We haven't been able to support them here. So I have to say our team has been phenomenal during a really tough time.
Yes.
I just welcome hopefully the new reduced restrictions are going to be benefit for everyone.
Yeah,
it's been
absolutely
tough on a lot of people.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's been super tough on everyone, and I think we all just need to pat ourselves on the back and say thank God we got through it all. And
absolutely,
you know, that's it. Because as I said at the start, this is week 30. 30 weeks I've been doing this with live guests. 30 weeks. Like, that's 7 or 8 months. Like, it's crazy.
Well,
I watched the seasons have changed. It's gotten lighter and warmer, and I'm just like, you know, I feel like Rapunzel up in my tower. It's like, let me out. Anyway, all right. Well, thank you, Andrew, so much. Enjoy the rest of your night. Kick on in the city.
Take care. Thanks, everyone.
All right. I'll see you soon. Thank you. All righty. So we'll just let them go. So there you go. Andrew, the Managing Director of Sub-Zero Australia. That was so good. I love the product. I know people get a bit nervous because it's expensive, but when you see it and you see how it works and you know that it is that high end and you're paying for something that's just, you know, obviously craftsmanship, it's well worth it. And it would be hard to come back from that. So anyway, I just want to thank you guys for joining in again. It was a bit earlier today because obviously I didn't want Andrew hanging around all day to do this. So thank you. We will be back next week. I'm kind of was like just doing this during COVID, just to kind of add a bit of something to everyone's Tuesday nights. But I do still have a few guests who are wanting to come on and a few more that message who want to have a chat about their products. So I will keep doing it weekly. And then maybe as we head towards Christmas, it might go every fortnight. So thank you for your support because it is fun and I'm enjoying it. And I hope you're enjoying it. And I look forward to seeing you guys next week. So have a good week. And if you're in Melbourne, 11:59 people, the countdown is on. All right, see you soon.